Next presenter on stage, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jayanth Prakash, Account Director and Regional Lead, South Academics and Government, LinkedIn, is going to be here to present on bridging the education to employment gap in India. Let's welcome him back on stage.
I want to thank all of you all for joining me this afternoon. It's an absolute pleasure being here in front of you all. I think this is a question I think a lot of people have. The topic is bridging the education to employment gap in India. What specifically is LinkedIn going to do, and how is LinkedIn going to kind of effectively support this goal that is written on your screens right now, right? One thing that a lot of people know LinkedIn for is we're the world's largest professional networking platform, right? I'm sure a lot of you all, and I hope a lot of you are all there on LinkedIn today. I'm sure you use it to kind of network with colleagues and your peers, etc., right? One thing that a lot of people very surprisingly don't know in India is that LinkedIn is the world's largest recruitment platform, right? A major chunk of LinkedIn's revenue comes in from its recruitment solutions. If you look at all major Fortune 500 companies today, all of them hire through LinkedIn, right? So LinkedIn is in a very unique space in the market today where we are able to kind of look at the job market data from across the globe. And we are able to see skills slowly transitioning. We're able to see new roles come up in organization, new skills that are in demand today, right? And we feel we are in a very, very unique position to kind of bridge that employability gap. Employability is a term which is used quite extensively in college boardrooms today, right? Everybody, I think, has woken up to the fact that just by having a degree is not an equivalent of actually being able to perform that job properly, right? And employability is again a key focus of LinkedIn today in India. And our aim is to become employability partners of education institutions today, right? And we aim to do this by kind of bringing in the knowledge that we have about the job market and bringing it to education institutions today. A small bit about myself. I'm part of the academics and government vertical at LinkedIn. I manage the South region of India and Sri Lanka. And my experience has primarily been within the recruitment space. And I'm trying to kind of take everything that I've learned from the recruitment space and bring it to the academic segment, where my sincere hope is that my experience can kind of help these institutions in that. I'm sure all of you also have seen this data, right? I think we're set to surpass 7.5 trillion, our GDP, by 2031. We are on track to becoming the world's third largest economy by 2027, surpassing Germany and Japan, right? And one thing that is going to fuel this GDP growth is going to be upskilling of our children and upskilling of the talent that is available in India, which is going to play a huge factor in achieving this goal, right? And I'm sure all of you in this room are going to play a key role in achieving this particular goal. Keeping that in mind, we've also done a few surveys in different organizations, and the number one reason a student is going to a college or a university today continues to remain the same. It is to find a job, right? That obviously is something that is still continues to remain the same. But what is very interesting is that 61% of professionals said universities do not fully prepare for them for their career. This is a bit of a contrast. People are going to colleges for getting a job, but 61% of the people are saying that the college did not adequately prepare them. We feel there is a bit of a contradiction here, right? Again, very interesting things that we see happening in the industry is that according to the Future of Jobs report, Due to automation, 85 million existing jobs are going to be eliminated by 2025, right? And we see, but the good part is we are also seeing 97 new jobs that will be created by 2025, right? In essence, a lot of institutions today are preparing students for jobs that simply will not exist in the near future, right? So it's always important to kind of keep track of the changes that are happening and to try and stay nimble as far as your curriculum is concerned, because this is a reality that is going to hit our shores. Another interesting trend that we see in India specifically is that there is roughly a 30% shift in the top skills every 5 to 6 years, right? When a student gets into college, the student is told that, hey, these are some of the top skills that you need to kind of learn in order to get the best possible opportunity that you can. But by the time they graduate, those skills have changed. Those skills have evolved into something else altogether. And this is something that we've been tracking in India, and this is what the data is telling us. Just to give you an idea as to what I mean, for a solutions architect in India, right, in 2015, the one on the left-hand side, these the skills that you see in the middle were the top skills for a solutions architect in 2015. Cut to 2022, can you see how the top skills have changed? Are you able to see that? There are approximately 6 to 7 new skills that have come in. Now the point of actually being in keeping track of what the top skills are, it's not to say that if your students are not well versed in these skills, they will not get a job. They probably will. But it's not going to be the best possible opportunity. It is not going to be the highest paying opportunity, right? So that is the most important thing that we need to keep in mind. Similarly, for a HR professional in India, right? This again I thought would be very interesting. 2015, you can see these were the priorities, these were the top skills. There has been almost a 33.9, almost 34% change in the top skills, right? These were the top skills in 2015, but if you look at 2022, strategic HR planning, HR development, HR operations became new and important skill sets for the HR fraternity, right? This again is something which I'm sure a lot of you might have seen, right? This is according to Deloitte. 73% of CEOs identified skill shortages as a major disruptor to the business strategy. CXO level folks are talking about this now, right? So we understand, I hope you understand the gravity of the situation. Skills matching the right kind of, the talent matching the right kind of skills, I think that is the need of the hour. And it's become a major business disruptor today. This again is a very, very interesting, this is from a global Microsoft survey that was conducted. 68% of students don't understand what skills are needed to start their career. And 50% of students don't know how to search for a specific job, right? These are all things that LinkedIn is hoping to kind of resolve in India today. Like I said, our aim is to become an employability partner, and these are some of the challenges that we feel LinkedIn is adequately prepared to kind of address today. Now, how is LinkedIn doing all of this? If you look at the global network of LinkedIn today, we're very close to that 1 billion mark globally. We have our presence in across 200 odd countries. We recently crossed the 100 million mark in India very recently. And what is very interesting is that students are the fastest growing population on LinkedIn today. Now this might have happened, maybe the pandemic might have given it some kind of a push, because I know a lot of students did not have access to placements that were happening, and students decided to take matter into their own hands, directly reach out to future employers, right? It could have been that. But cut to 2023, students continue to be the fastest growing population on LinkedIn, right? So LinkedIn is extremely focused on this segment, and we feel the fastest way to impact this segment is by collaborating with educational institutions, which is what we look forward to do in the coming years. We have taken the network that is there globally. We're talking about 900 million members telling us where they're working, where they're located, what skills they possess, what roles they're currently working in. We're able to take all of that information and create valuable insights for higher education institutions. This is essentially called the economic graph of LinkedIn. It gives you an indication of the overall talent landscape that is available, talent and skill landscape that is available on LinkedIn today, right? There are 300 million skills that are getting added to LinkedIn on a global basis, to LinkedIn profiles. Another thing, like I said, because we are the world's largest recruitment platform, 45% of hirers on LinkedIn, they are using the skills data to kind of fill roles. So this is something, I don't know if any of you were there for my initial speech. There was a Harvard Business Review article that came out which said there has been a 45% reduction in jobs that require a bachelor's degree in the US post the pandemic, right? This is something, I mean, if I was an educator or I was part of an education institution, this is something that would bring some kind of alarm bells in my head, right? This is a trend that is kind of setting in there. It's a matter of time something like this comes to India. And we're seeing the shift in the recruiter's attitude to hiring candidates. Earlier they would be like, hey, let me pick up students from these colleges first, and then I'll go to these colleges. Now, when they're looking for talent, the first thing that they search for is skills. Is the person able to demonstrate the skill? That person is eligible for the role, right? Even top organizations, Google, Microsoft, even LinkedIn for that matter, for key roles, we're not even looking at a college degree, right? So that trend is slowly starting to set in, so which is again something that's very interesting. And what LinkedIn is essentially trying to kind of work with institutions, like I said, is bring the recruitment data to your campus, because simply put, you as educators are fulfilling the demand of the corporate world, right? So it automatically makes sense to kind of really understand what are the changes that are happening in on the demand side of things, which is the corporate world, right? LinkedIn provides that window to higher education institutions today, and governments for that matter. In fact, we are working with state governments, kind of give them the labor landscape of their states, etc. They're dependent on LinkedIn for this now. We are focused on boosting student employability, which is our primary focus. So in addition to giving the data and giving the necessary skills to students, we are also focused on getting them connected to the right opportunity, right? And that's essentially where LinkedIn's network comes into play. We are also focused on kind of training students on how to effectively navigate through the platform and land the opportunity of their dreams. That's pretty much it from my side. Thank you so much you've been a lovely audience. Thank you so much.